Really, we always start with a breathing exercise just for us to relax, be centered and grounded. So join me in taking a deep breath in through your nose. Hold that breath, let it out. Exhale through your mouth. Hold it in, hold, out, hold, in, hold. And as you exhale, just let go of all the tensions that you have and the things that did not serve you today. Just let it go. And take a deep breath in, hold it, and let it go. Thank you so much for joining us for that breathing exercise. And today we have a guest. And usually I introduce our guest, but I'm going to allow our guest to introduce himself. Dark Joseph Ravine.
Thank you
Welcome to
so
the
much.
Transforming Lifespan podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
So, who is Dark Joseph Ravine?
So, Dark Joseph Ravine is my stage name that I used uh, for my online presence. My name is theoretical for fighting against dark by putting light into this world and helping people and promoting positivity and trying to do as much good for the world as possible.
Hmm. How I'm hearing transformation from darkness to light.
Yes.
What was that moment that initiated the transformation?
Me personally, I used to live a bit of a dishonest life where I would tell people, oh, I'm famous and I'm a star and I'm online and this and that. And I would kind of do that as a way of trying to impress people and trying to make people think I was someone of importance when in reality, that's not who I really was. I was only just a marketing agent unknowingly at that time. But after opening my marketing company, Focus 5 Group, and becoming the CEO, that's when I started to live more of an authentic life because that's what I found was my true calling, which was marketing.
Starting Focus 5 force you to become authentic?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
So, to talk a little bit about your own personal transformation, because you said that you sort of were being dishonest and sort of, I guess, putting out the persona that you were already very successful, sort of faking it until you make it, as you often sometimes hear people say.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, for sure.
and then you kind of turned around and you actually started to be doing what it was you had been pretending you were already doing. So, can you kind of share that journey with our listeners?
Absolutely. So I had a moment in my life where I felt like people around the world just weren't nice to me. And I thought about kind of building an online persona that I was this amazing person and that I was wonderful and that I was great. And then I would share it with people that I knew in my community and everywhere else, wherever I went and I met people. And it seemed to have been doing me more harm than good. People would get angry at me and would complain about me and things like that. And then at one point, I thought that it was just jealousy. But then I realized after a while that they were right about something. And then after a few years, I was kind of not living an honest life. I kind of realized that they were right about why they had a right to complain about me. And that's when I started to kind of transform and I started to be more a little on the humble side where I say, I am not famous, I'm not known, I'm only a marketing agent. That's it. And I started like achieving success like that.
So the reason for being inauthentic was to be famous or to be known.
To be known, and also for people to treat me differently.
So there was that desire for, say, validation.
Yes.
But then when you switch to being authentic, you begin to receive the validation, and
Yes.
then you became famous.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if going viral on social media is really famous. In my opinion, I think celebrity and fame doesn't really have any real existence. I really think it's all honestly just marketing. As anytime you bring yourself out to people, even if it's not for the intention of promoting or anything, I always look at that as marketing, regardless of, whatever it is.
So maybe because of that unique definition of marketing that you have, can you define marketing for us?
Absolutely. So marketing is the practice of bringing anything that you're doing out to the public and getting more eyes on whatever it is that you're promoting. It could be, let's say a business or a food blog or anything in general that you want people to know about, or you get people to notice something in a sense.
So, say for an example, you wanted to market an amazing podcast about transforming lives. Gives us some tips and ideas of how one might do some marketing to promote something like that.
Well, I'm glad you're bringing that up, because hopefully right after the podcast, I'm going to promote you guys. It comes free from our agency. We like to give free marketing from our agency. So what I would do is we would hopefully get the podcast into groups, as well as having ads, like ads and connections and networks of people to view the particular video. And then hopefully it would get a lot of views and people seeing you and noticing you, and hopefully like that's how eventually you start to get discovered and noticed. And then if you do this over and over, I mean, it's social media marketing is not a one-time thing, it's a commitment. You have to have multiple posts that actually keep getting views and views and views, and then eventually you start to get recommended and discovered further by people in general. And so that's what I learned in marketing.
Okay, thank you. Now, when you completed the form, you said the message that you want to leave with our listeners and viewers is how to find your true self as a person. And
Absolutely.
I am intrigued by that.
Yes.
For many reasons. So I want us to go there. You said we should find our true selves.
Yes.
But many philosophers, many psychologists argue that true self is an illusion and identity is fluid. How do Joseph define the true self?
So, from my experience, I believe that your true self is doing what you love to do and representing yourself in a way that is authentic, that defines what you love to do. Just like when I mentioned about marketing being my true calling, instead of telling people, oh, I'm famous and this and that, what I would do is I would say to them, I am a marketing expert. This is what I did for myself. And this is what I did for my social media as well. And I can do the same thing for you if you are interested. So I put myself as living proof that I'm able to do something, therefore living more of a truthful life and telling people the truth in the sense that there's living proof that I can do something because I have experience doing it for myself. So I think that as long as you can show people that you can do something yourself and that you represent everything you do, putting yourself as the example, I feel like that's a way you can live the truth and show the world who you really are.
I love that because I have this personal philosophy that I say, I can't lead you where I have not walked.
Absolutely. I love that too.
Yeah. So you're leading people where you walked. But in
Exactly.
this world of social media where authenticity is oftentimes absent, right?
Yes, it is
Just
very
for the likes. I'm sorry, just for the likes and other things. Now,
yeah.
how do you think embracing your authenticity is necessary? Or let me flip it around. A thought just jumped into my head.
No worries.
How
It's
do
all good.
you think embracing your darkness is necessary to find your authenticity?
My way of doing that is you have to look into yourself and think, is there anything I'm doing that's not right? Is there anything I'm doing that's hurting other people? Am I making other people suffering by doing the things that I'm doing? And so I always like to look into myself and see where I'm going wrong and
Mm-hmm.
how I can fix that. And when you look into yourself and you see where you're going wrong, then you can get rid of that wrongfulness from your life. And then you can start putting more ways of going into the right direction, which is what I did with my marketing.
Do you think a person can truly know themselves, find themselves, discover who they are without confronting their worst traits?
I actually think that a lot of people struggle with finding who they are based on the philosopher you said earlier about we don't know who we really are and we don't know our true selves very much. And you're right about that in a lot of senses, because there are a lot of people on social media who live a dishonest life, who pretend to be rich when they're not actually, who pretend to be friends with celebrities when they're not, who look like they're this kind of person when they're not actually. And there are a lot of liars. I'm sorry to be honest with you. And those people never get ahead, though. You know, if you're a truthful person and you live the truth, then you get ahead.
Wow.
I wanted to take a moment and ask you a little bit about your book, because I know you wrote a book called Watch Out, It's Nolan, a courageous tale about a boy who overcame his bullies by being fearless and standing up for himself. And can you
Yes.
talk, because obviously there's a transformation and there's a story there. So can you please kind of share some of that journey with us?
Yes, absolutely. So when I was a child, I was bullied a lot in an environment that was very racist, and I I didn't have the power to stick up for myself. And so I wrote that book as a way of encouraging parents who have children to teach their kids self-defense and to stand up for themselves and not let people and bullies step all over them, and to know that your self-worth is more important than and I always feel like it's the parents and the adults responsibility to teach the younger generation how to be powerful people and to rise above you know negativity as much as possible.
What are some of the key points within that book, and maybe some of the things you might want to highlight or something for somebody who maybe is going through bullying, to help them transform from that negative to something positive?
My way of understanding that personally, like if I was in that position, I wouldn't have the power to stand up for myself because I'm not that powerful. I would just get out of the situation and go to another school if, I was being bullied by the school and the classmates. But one thing I would say definitely is that every child deserves a supporter and someone who's there to help them, because I didn't have anyone there to help me. I was very misunderstood when I was a child. So I feel like as long as every child has a cheerleader and a supporter to help them, then they might be able to get that positive encouragement to rise above the negativity, you know?
Thank you for sharing that because I have a question. Do you think it's because of not having the validation and the support as a child? You sought it in the way that you did before your transformation?
Oh, 100%. I'm glad you're bringing that up because, you know, so many people seek validation and seek approval from people and things like that in hopes that they can become better because of people. But at the end of the day, you know, the way I look at it is that, you know, you don't necessarily always need approval from people. I mean, you definitely need one or two people to help you in the life, and I definitely encourage the parents to always be the cheerleader of their children, you know, because you know they're the ones supporting them, so they should be their cheerleader as well. And you know, we definitely need that one loyal person, but you don't need everybody's validation. Like if I have one loyal supporter in my life, that's more than enough for me. But sometimes people seek validation from everybody, and you're not going to get validation from everybody, and you're not going to please everybody either. So, you know, you just gotta, you know, have that one amazing person and just keep rising above all of this as much as you can. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, you bring up a really, really good point, which is, you know, as children, everybody wants to sort of, you know, fit in and be part of the crowd and be in the in group or what have you.
Yes.
And you're so right in that, you know, people need, whether it's a parent or a family friend or an aunt or an uncle, but everybody needs to have someone in their corner. And what happens, right, is if people don't have somebody who's good in their corner, then that's when they get swallowed up and connected into gangs and things because they want to feel like they, you know, have some people who are part of their team. So as you say, it's like looking and seeking and trying to find, you know, one or two good people. You don't need hundreds, you just need a couple.
Yes. Only a couple. That's all it takes.
And to look inside yourself to give yourself your own strength when you're still trying to find that person if they haven't found it yet.
100%. Only takes one or two good people. Doesn't take a million.
Are there any, I notice you have lots and lots of followers on your various social media and everything, and you know, which is amazing. Um, you know, is that something that you sort of are actively pursuing all the time? Is that something that just because you
Yes.
created the odd viral video or
Yes,
something?
that's what my marketing business is all about, to help people become like me on social media. You know, all the followers and things that I deal with are all from my marketing. It's all from me, you know, promoting myself and using marketing tactics and secrets that I know that deals with helping people to go viral. I use for myself like I would use for my clients. So, you know, if anybody's interested in being an influencer, I'm the person to contact.
And where can they contact you? Let's switch that in right there.
They can email my agency at focus5group@gmail.com if they are interested in going viral. And, you know, we do work on custom packages. So it's not like we sell specific services. The client has to talk to me and tell me what specifically they are looking for. And then from what they're looking for, then we can work on a package and everything. Because we try to work within our clients' budgets and as well as our clients' needs. Because for us, it's more about them being happy. It's not about us or anything like that. Our job is to try to use our marketing to change our clients' lives for the better.
And let's say someone is listening to this podcast or viewing this podcast and they're like, oh, I want to get some marketing out there. Would they get a discount from Focus 5?
Yeah, of course. So they would contact us. They would tell us the specifics of their project. and what they're looking for. And then I would talk with my team about the things I can offer them and do for them. And then they can agree if they want to proceed or not. We also give free samples to all the people who are interested in getting to know our services. We provide multiple different services, and we're always happy to help people. Of course, it does depend what they want to promote. We're not going to promote negativity or bad things. Whatever we promote, it has to be positive and good, and it has to align with our morals. Because when we promote something bad, then it just looks bad on us. So we are a little exclusive in that area. And you have to be when you're a marketing agent. You don't want to set yourself up for struggle or looking bad or anything like that.
I like to do rapid fire questions at the end of some podcasts. So I am going to ask you, is viral growth luck or skill?
I'm glad you're bringing that up. Actually, it's all skill. There's no luck in viral. The only luck in viral is that your post gets recommended to more people, which is not in my control. That's in the algorithm, social media algorithms control. If your post gets recommended, then you hit the jackpot. That's where you got lucky. But skill. That's all done via marketing. Nothing can make that happen but marketing. When you see all the viral videos and views and everything, it's all from marketing.
What's your 3-second script?
My 3-second script: be true to yourself. I can only say one thing: be true to who you are.
Thank you so much. Thank you for taking
Thank you for having me.
taking a deep dive with us into the mind of Dark Joseph Ravine. Joseph, thank you for pushing us to question what it means to be our true selves and for giving us a deeper insight into marketing. And I wish you all the best in your future endeavors, and
Thank you.
may
You as
focus.
well, too. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.